Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine sitting in ancient India, maybe just after a really famous teacher has passed away,
Right.
and you're watching this conversation unfold. It's between a curious young guy, a Brahmin, and the teacher's closest attendant, someone who knew him for years.
That's exactly the scene we're diving into today.
Yeah, our sources give us this amazing dialogue from the Subhasuttaṃ, and it's Ānanda, the Buddha's key disciple, basically laying out the entire path to spiritual freedom.
It's more than just ideas, though. It's like a practical guide.
Absolutely. Step by step, full of these really vivid analogies and some stuff that might even surprise you.
And what's so fascinating is how Ānanda, who is like the living memory of the Buddha's teachings, presents this complete system, so structured.
So this deep dive should give you a really clear picture of this ancient wisdom, right? Connecting the dots between how you act, how you train your mind.
And then that deeper wisdom. Exactly. It's this journey from discipline all the way to liberation. And honestly, you might have some real aha moments about what humans are capable of.
So our goal here, our mission for this deep dive, is really to pull out the key insights from this incredible text.
The important nuggets.
Yeah. You'll hear about specific practices, some really unexpected rules, prohibitions even, and then this whole range of mental abilities that are, well, pretty mind-bending.
So the big question is, what does all this ancient stuff mean for us today as we try to be, better informed, freer?
Let's find out. Let's get into it.
Okay.
So the story kicks off in Savatthi. We're at the Jetavana Monastery, which is a really important place, and it's shortly after the Buddha's final nirvana.
And Ānanda, who was the Buddha's attendant for, what, decades?
Yeah, many years. He's staying there.
Right. And in the same town, there's this young Brahmin, Subha, son of Dīgha.
And Subha, he's keen. He wants to talk to Ānanda. So he sends a young man, a messenger, to invite Ānanda over.
Ah, but there's that little delay, isn't there? Ānanda says, very politely, not today. Says he's taken medicine.
Right, but he suggests the next day. It feels very practical, not a rejection.
Not at all. Just a gentle rescheduling.
And Subha reads this positively. He sees it as a definite opportunity, a good sign for the meeting.
He's optimistic.
Totally. So the next morning, Ānanda shows up right on time at Subha's place. He's got another monk with him, Shataka, and he takes a seat, ready to talk.
And this is where Subha asks the crucial question. He knows Ānanda was so close to the Buddha, heard everything directly.
So he gets right to it.
Yeah. He asks basically, what were the teachings the Buddha really emphasized? What did he establish people in?
It's the perfect setup. It's like asking, give me the core principles.
And Ānanda doesn't hesitate. His answer immediately gives us the whole framework.
He says the Buddha praised and established people in 3 khandhas. Aggregates, collections. You could translate it a few ways.
3 pillars, really. The sīlakkhandha, noble morality.
Then the samādhikkhandha, nodal concentration.
And finally, the paññākkhandha, noble wisdom.
And you said earlier, this isn't just a list.
Absolutely not. It's crucial to see it as a progression. Each one builds on the last. It's interconnected. A path.
Okay, that makes sense. It's systematic. So let's dig into that first pillar then. Morality. The sīlakkhandha. How does Ānanda explain it?
Well, he starts with the very beginning, the path of renunciation. Someone hears the Dhamma, the teaching, and faith arises.
They start thinking, right?
Yeah.
About the difference between, regular life with all its ties and burdens.
And the freedom of the spiritual path, the homeless life, as the texts often put it.
So they make that huge leap. Leave home, possessions, family ties, shave their head, put on the robes.
That's the outward step, but the core is the inner conduct. Living restrained by the rules, having good conduct, and being really aware, seeing danger, even in small faults.
It's about integrity, deep integrity.
Yes. And the text gets very specific.
Like the example of abandoning killing. It's not just don't kill.
No, it's actively refraining from harm, putting down weapons, being conscientious, and having compassion for all beings. It's a very active stance.
And the source implies this applies across the board for stealing, lying, sexual misconduct, and so on.
Exactly. It sets a really strong ethical foundation.
Now, here's a part that I found really interesting, maybe even surprising for some listeners. This idea of avoiding animal talk or wrong livelihood.
Ah, yes, that list is quite something. It details all these practices that monastics, even though they live on alms, absolutely must avoid.
Things you might not expect, like fortune-telling, Reading signs.
Definitely. Interpreting dreams, making vows for specific outcomes, performing rituals, whether for protection, wealth, fertility.
Even some medical practices, like using certain root medicines or antidotes.
Yes, the point seems to be avoiding any kind of livelihood that involves manipulation, predicting the future for gain, or using spiritual practice for worldly ends. It's about keeping the motivation incredibly pure.
Maintaining that separation from worldly entanglement, even if it seems helpful on the surface.
Precisely. It's about complete dedication to the path itself.
And the result of this kind of rigorous ethical purity.
The text says it brings an immediate benefit. This inner happiness that's blameless, freedom from fear.
Like a king who's won a victory and feels totally secure.
That's the analogy, yes. The mind is just at ease. No guilt, no fear of consequences from bad actions.
Okay, so Subha hears all this about this complete pure moral conduct.
And he's amazed, genuinely astonished.
He basically says, wow, this is incredible. I haven't seen anything like this elsewhere. Surely this is enough. This must be the goal.
He thinks that's the destination. Complete satisfaction right there.
Which then raises that critical question, doesn't it? Why does Nanda immediately follow up with, well, there's still more to be done?
Exactly. It highlights that morality, sila, however crucial, is the foundation, not the penthouse.
It's the essential starting point.
The necessary ground. You absolutely need it to build the next stage, which is concentration. Without that ethical base, deep focus is, well, pretty much impossible.
Right. So that brings us to pillar 2, the path of concentration, the Arya samādhikkhandha.
Building on that solid moral foundation.
So how does one cultivate this? Nanda talks about prerequisites, right? Things you need first.
Yes, absolutely. It starts with guarding the senses. Indriya savara.
Guarding the senses. What does that mean in practice?
It means when you see, hear, smell, taste, touch, or even think about something, you train yourself not to grasp onto the overall sign or the secondary characteristics.
So not getting caught up in whether something looks attractive or ugly, sounds pleasant or harsh.
Exactly. You perceive it, but you don't let the mind immediately latch onto it with craving or aversion. You stop those unwholesome states, greed, distress from arising right at the gate of the senses.
And the result of that is inner peace.
An inner, unperturbed happiness, the text says, because you're not constantly being pulled around by your reactions.
Okay, that makes sense. What else is needed?
Then comes mindfulness and clear comprehension, sati sampajanya.
This sounds like being aware all the time.
Pretty much. Being clearly aware and fully understanding what you're doing in every activity. Walking, standing, sitting, eating, drinking.
Even sleeping, speaking, being silent.
Yes. It's constant moment-to-moment presence and understanding of what's happening internally and externally.
Wow, that's demanding. And then there's contentment, santuha.
Yes, being content with the basics. Just enough robes for the body, just enough alms food for the stomach. Simple needs.
Ah, the bird analogy, carrying only its wings.
That's the one. Taking only what's essential, not being weighed down by wanting more.
Okay, so with guarded senses, constant awareness, and contentment, then the mind is ready for the next step.
Then it's ready to really tackle the obstacles, the 5 hindrances.
Right, these are the big mental blocks. Covetousness,
Ill will, sloth, and torpor.
restlessness and remorse, and finally, doubt.
And Ānanda explains that the practitioner seeks out seclusion to work on overcoming these.
And this is where those amazing analogies come in, right? They make the hindrances so relatable.
They really do. Covetousness, that wanting mind, is like being in debt.
Yeah.
Heavy, burdensome.
Ill will, anger, resentment. That's like a sickness, constantly painful.
Sloth and torpor, that mental heaviness and unwillingness to try. It's like being imprisoned, stuck.
Restlessness and remorse, the agitated mind, the regrets. That's like slavery. You're not free, you're driven by it.
And doubt, that uncertainty and inability to commit, like being lost on a dangerous desert path, full of anxiety.
So overcoming each one feels like liberation from these states.
Exactly, like being freed from debt or cured of sickness, released from prison, freed from slavery, or finding your way out of the desert. It brings this incredible joy and relief.
And clearing away these hindrances is what allows for deeper meditation, the jhanas.
Precisely. The mind is clear, bright, and ready for these states of deep meditative absorption, the 4 jhanas.
Can you briefly walk us through those? They sound quite profound. The text uses analogies for these two, yeah?
Yes, very vivid ones. The first jhana involves detachment from sense pleasures and unwholesome states, but still has some initial thought and examination. There's rapture and happiness.
And the analogy.
Like a bath attendant kneading water into a ball of bath powder until it's totally saturated, permeated. The joy permeates the whole body.
Okay. Then the second jhana.
Here, the thinking and examining fades away. There's deep inner tranquility, unification of mind, still rapture and happiness, but born purely from concentration now.
And the image for that.
Like a deep lake with no inlets, filled from within by a spring of cool water, completely self-contained and full.
Lovely. What about the third jhana?
The intense rapture fades, replaced by a more subtle happiness and strong equanimity. You're mindful, clearly comprehending, experiencing this calm happiness in the body.
Analogy?
Like lotuses growing in the water, totally permeated and suffused with cool water from root to tip. Complete saturation, but calmer.
And the fourth jhana?
This is beyond pleasure and pain altogether. Pure equanimity, pure mindfulness, completely purified, neither pleasant nor painful feeling. Utter stillness.
Wow. And the image?
Like a person sitting completely covered, enveloped head to foot in a clean white cloth. No part of the body untouched. Total immersion in purity and stillness.
That's quite a journey of mental refinement.
It truly is. A profound stabilization and purification of the mind.
So Subha hears all this. The prerequisites, overcoming hindrances, these deep states of jhana.
And again, he's utterly amazed. He declares this level of concentration is unparalleled. Surely this must be the final goal.
But here we go again.
Exactly. Ānanda says, nope, still more to be done.
Incredible. After morality, after this intense concentration, what else could there possibly be?
This brings us to the summit, the third and final pillar, the peak of wisdom, the Arya paññākkhandha.
So the mind is now super clear, stable, workable, ready.
Ready for the ultimate insights, the liberating knowledge, the wisdom that cuts through ignorance. This is where the profound knowledges, the vijja, arise.
And some of these are really out there. They challenge our normal ideas of reality.
They certainly do. It starts with a very direct knowledge of one's own body and consciousness.
Seeing clearly how the physical body is made up, how it's sustained, how it decays, and how consciousness is linked to it.
Exactly. The analogy is seeing a colored thread running through a clear, perfectly cut gem. You see both parts distinctly and their connection.
Crystal clear understanding. Then it gets even more unusual.
Yes, the ability to create a mind-made body, to emanate another form from this physical one, complete with limbs and faculties.
That sounds like magic. But the analogies are interesting. Drawing a reed from its sheath.
Or a sword from its scabbard, a snake from its basket. It suggests separating something distinct from its container, a kind of mental projection or creation based on deep mastery.
Okay. And then the list of supernormal powers, the idivida. This is where it gets really wild for a modern listener, maybe.
It can seem that way. Being one and becoming many, passing through walls.
Walking on water, flying,
Mm-hmm.
touching the sun and moon. Even mastery up to the Brahma worlds.
It's presented as the result of a mind that has achieved complete mastery over the elements and its own form. The analogies are key here, like a skilled potter making any pot they wish.
Or an ivory carver, or a goldsmith, creating whatever they intend from their material.
It points to the mind's potential when fully developed and liberated from ordinary constraints. It's less about literal magic, perhaps, and more about demonstrating the extent of mental freedom and power.
Okay. What other knowledges arise?
There is the divine ear, Dīgha Nikāya. Hearing sounds both divine and human, far and near, beyond normal hearing.
Like the traveler identifying all the different instruments playing.
Precisely. And the knowledge of others' minds? Sadopariyanya, directly knowing the mental states of others.
Are they lustful, hateful, deluded, or free from those things?
Yes. The analogy is seeing your reflection perfectly in a clear mirror or bowl of water, seeing every detail, every blemish or lack thereof. Direct, clear perception of another's mind.
And then the knowledge of past lives.
Recollection of past lives, Subhasuttaṃ. Recalling innumerable previous existences in detail, names, families, experiences, lifespans, rebirths.
The analogy being someone traveling between villages and remembering every step of the journey.
Exactly. And linked to that, the knowledge of the passing away and rebirth of beings, the Sattana Kutupatanya.
The divine eye. Seeing beings die and be reborn according to their karma.
Yes, understanding their destinations, high or low, fortunate or unfortunate based on their actions. Like someone at a crossroads watching people come and go from different houses and paths.
Wow, okay, so all these incredible knowledges, but they lead to something even more ultimate, right?
They culminate in the final, most crucial insight, the destruction of the defilements, asavakkhaya. This is liberation itself.
This is where the Four Noble Truths come in.
Directly. The practitioner understands suffering, its origin, its cessation, and the path leading to its cessation. They see it directly, not just intellectually.
And they understand the defilements, the asava's sensual desire, the craving for existence, ignorance.
Their origin, their cessation, and the path to their cessation. And through this direct knowing, the mind is freed, liberated.
That final realization.
Birth is destroyed, the holy life has been lived, what was to be done has been done, there is no more for this state of being. Complete freedom.
And the analogy for this final state.
A clear, calm, still pond high in the mountains, so clear you can see every pebble, shell, and fish on the bottom. Perfect clarity, perfect stillness, reflecting reality as it is.
So after hearing this, the culmination, what's Suhai's reaction?
Finally, he gets it. Deep appreciation. He declares, this is complete, this is unsurpassed, nothing more needs to be done.
He uses those lovely metaphors comparing Ananda's teaching to writing what was upside down.
Revealing the hidden, showing the path to the lost, holding up a lamp in the darkness.
Yeah. And then he formally takes refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma, the teaching, and the Sangha, the community.
Signifying his full acceptance and commitment to this path.
It's quite a journey he's taken just in that one conversation.
It really is. And stepping back, looking at the whole thing, what we've really explored here is this ancient but incredibly detailed map for inner transformation.
Laid out so clearly in those three stages. Morality.
The foundation, then concentration, the disciplined focus.
Leading to wisdom. The liberating insight.
It's not just philosophy, it's a practical, systematic way to understand and ultimately master your own mind and how you experience reality.
It's just incredible how Ānanda unpacks it all, step by logical step, and how each stage pushes past what Subha, the listener in the story, thought was the end point.
Yeah, he kept thinking, okay, this must be it.
But there was always more depth. And those analogies, the vivid descriptions, they really bring it to life, don't they? Especially those descriptions of the mental powers. It makes this deep dive feel like uncovering a real treasure.
Definitely a treasure trove of knowledge about human potential.
So this ancient dialogue, it really presents this compelling vision, doesn't it? It stretches our ideas of what's possible.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to you, listening now. What really stands out to you from this exploration of the Subhasutta?
Yeah, how do these ideas, cultivating ethics, deep focus, profound wisdom, how do they land with you? Do they resonate? Do they challenge your own understanding of what it means to be, truly well-informed and genuinely free?